Hello and welcome back! It's only been a few minutes for me since the end of the last video, but knowing me and the problems I've been having with the videos, it is probably going to be several days later. But yeah, we're about to take on Sen's Fortress. But and that's my favourite area in the whole game. It's actually one of my favourite locations in any game at all. It's really special to me. It's something that actually means quite a lot, and something that sort of solidifies Lordran for me as a location, as like possibly the best persistent location in any game at all. Like, you know, of course I've said many times to people I know that it really gives Talon 4. In fact, I think you'll probably say that it is better than Talon 4 from Metroid Prime. But again, and I know that I said this before, I've got to be a bit of a broken record on this. Sen's Fortress is a dungeon based around traps, and in a sense it's sort of like around trial and error and things like that. So if you watch this, you're sort of not going to get the best experience, at least compared to if you attempted this yourself. So I would only recommend you watch this if you have you've either already played through Sen's Fortress or you've completely given up on the concept of doing so. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to make up your mind. But yeah, Sen's Fortress. I love this. Right, so when we walk in here, if you look carefully, you can see this is raised here. And walking forward, there are two enemies in this room. See, there's one, and there's the other, just to the left. So if we step on this platform, it launches arrows. But of course, if we do what I did there, we can lure these lizard men onto the platforms. Also, if you're wondering why I'm a little bit more enthusiastic than the one I just recorded, I've just had 2 energy drinks this time. But yeah, and here we go, the first room. So we've got these swinging blades up there. You can barely see, but there's a sort of like lizard mage who will fire lightning at us. And then also you can't see in the distance because of like it's sort of a bit foggy. There's a person who will with melee weapons again who will try and knock us off this bridge. It isn't. And you can see down there there's a Titanite demon, and that isn't the only Titanite demon down there. But I do not want to go there. But yeah. So the idea is we can actually use these swinging blades to block the attacks from the mage. But I think it's just best to try and get through here as quick as possible without having to even just like consider that. So we get under the bridge so that any attacks will actually just hit the bridge. We can also hit the enemy off, but I don't think we get the souls from that. Don't know if the drop will kill the enemy. It definitely doesn't kill us in any case. So there we go. And looks like we've got another player who's going through the same area. Well, of course I've got to just try and run across there before I get hit by the mage. There are more blades going across this one. Of course this is more of a direct shot, so I've just kind of got to run across. Although immediately behind the enemy is another button and arrow trap. So Oh, here we go. One of these is probably going to hit me off, if not the mage's attacks. There we go. It looks like I can kill it in 2 hits. So, see there, you can see the oh, you could see it before a second ago, where there's the opening for the bolts to come out. So I just step on the panel and send them out. So what's in here? Oh, more Titanite shards. I think that would probably be me upgraded my yeah, then I could my great axe. I'd have a level 10 great axe, which would which is the maximum for the meantime. Ah, yes. So this guard. Oh, and there we go. A neat little introduction to this this boulder. Oh, it didn't get killed, but I did. So things like that, obviously, because I got distracted. That was a bit of a problem. But yeah, there is sort of like an optimal path for going through Sen's Fortress. Although, I'll probably better not talk about that. There's an optimal pattern of going through Sen's Fortress, and so you sort of like gradually learn that through attempt after attempt after attempt. But of course, I'm going to be doing it in a lot less attempts than I did first time. First time it took me probably about 20 to 30 deaths to get through. So let's see if I can, because the thing fires 3 bolts, which is enough to kill one of the lizards. So sometimes it'll hit 2 of them will hit one of the lizard, and the 3rd one will hit another one. So you've still got both lizards alive. Oh, right, yeah. I'm probably best run back. Have I got a soul to pop in case? Oh, I didn't take the firekeeper. Well, obviously, because the issue is that you need a firekeeper to use the firekeeper souls, and I think the only firekeeper I can visit at the moment is the one that was in Firelink, which means that I can't actually use that firekeeper soul just yet. So let's upgrade my great axe to +10 if I've got enough souls. That is reinforced weapon. Where are you? They're great axe, so I need one more large titanite shard. Can I purchase that? But then of course I won't have enough for no, I don't have the thing for purchasing it. Right, okay. So I'll just carry on as I was. So yeah, I feel I probably need to address it. The reason why, you know, I'm not very good at thinking of things at the time, but on reflection, I think I need to address why it was quite so much of a spoiler, the thing before. So basically, when Lautrec kills the Firekeeper, and obviously causes that to happen, the issue is that it's an event that you can prevent by killing Lautrec. And I think that that when you're playing through the game the first time, that's an event that needs to happen, so that you know, your experience isn't being tainted by the experiences of others. So I think that needs to happen for every. Ideally, it should happen for everyone when they play, so that they just go in blind, and then maybe on their second playthrough they kill Lautrec when he arrives in Firelink. Or maybe some point later. Although there's other things related to him that I've actually skipped over, because there's he can initiate a quest related to Lady Thoroland, because obviously we've her friends, the Order of the Way of White. They all left, but Petrus, for whatever reason, seems to be still at Firelink. If you noticed, you might not have. So this guy will not attack us, I don't think, unless we attack him first. So let's just do that. Oh. Well, basically, there's an illusory wall here. Actually, no, it's not. It's not an illusory wall. Not an illusory wall at all. But of course, as you can probably tell from the look of this path here, this is a path related to these boulders. Basically, you can later on... Oh, better watch out! Sorry, you can't really tell, but it feels like the game's dragging you down there. There's an enemy around here somewhere. Is this it here? Or did he get killed already? Looks like he's... Well, yeah, he's ragdolling, but maybe there's an enemy behind me? I don't know, I usually get attacked around here. But now it seems like they're both dead. And so here we have Siegmeyer again.
Oh ho! Ah! Where did you come from? Splendid news, I tell you. Ah, so you see my plight. Yes, indeed. I've run up against a wall. Or a ball, to be precise. I'm afraid I'm a bit too tough to be outrunning those things. So here I sit in quite a pickle. But who knows? Perhaps we'll have another development.
So, if... and this is a thing that not everyone notices, but it seems that a lot of the NPCs of the game are meant to reflect different play styles. So, we have Siegmeyer, who is sort of a character... Well, let's go from the beginning. The NPC known as the Crestfallen Warrior, who is the one who sits at Firelink, you know, just sort of like complaining about things. He is meant to sort of reflect players who give up. And indeed, this is where sort of like hollowing comes in as like a story mechanic. Where so he sort of gives up on essentially, he's the player that sort of gives up on completing the game and then just complains about it to everyone. Then you've got Siegmeyer, who we just saw, who is essentially sort of like the player who relies entirely too much on co-op. You know, on having the other players complete everything for him. And then, of course, we've got Knight Lautrec of Kareem, who we mentioned earlier. Sorry, there's a switch there, and I'm trying to remember which side it was, and of course it's this side. And he sort of reflects opportunist players who mainly want humanity and stuff like that. So let's see if I can attract this guy. There we go, and jump out of the way. Well, it helped a little bit in any case. So, him down. Is this the area? There we go. So here we've got to run after the boulders. I think there might have been an enemy up there who's going to attack me. Of course, we've got to keep running and keep running, so that you don't just die so unceremoniously. Well, obviously don't jump down there. At least I don't think there's anything good down there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you should try jumping down there and tell me what happens. Leave that in the comments. So there we go. Up to the next floor. But yeah, I'm not good at finishing my sentences, am I? So that thing I said about 5 minutes ago, about about that guard who was just standing there. Basically, because as you can see, like these sort of rivets here, here is where you can redirect the boulders. So I think that might be the direction that leads down to where that guard was, which means that the guard is now dead, and also you've used the boulders to punch a massive hole in the wall. But I'm making sure that at least each of the 4 directions gets a boulder sent down it. I can't remember if there's actually any benefit of using this way, but it's best to just send one down there just in case. Basically, see that? Oh, actually, probably best not stand in front of it. But there's a minor enemy that you just saw on that bridge there, who, like a mage or whatever, lizard one, who, or maybe the thing hit them. I don't know. But basically, there's someone down there who has an important key that's required for something very important, something very, very important, related to navigating Sen's fortress when you return, and return you shall. Right. Oh yeah. This is one of probably the probably the hardest area of Sen's. So I'm just gonna have to run. There we go. I managed to make it. I'm gonna. There we go. Because I'm trying to not move because I know there's a lot of enemies. Well, maybe not a lot, but probably more. You know, even just 3 enemies can be a lot when dealing with them one-on-one's fine. It's when you get sort of reach a critical mass that they become a problem. See, there's the second enemy up there, and I think there's a third one somewhere else. Just do a jump slash. Oh, and killed him in 1 hit. Right. So here we go. So there's a mage there. And then I've also got a very, very narrow bridge here. And also the swinging blades. So I'm going to try and use my pyromancy to kill the mage. Now this doesn't always work, bear in mind. But if I get one more hit, I might. There we go. But yeah, there have been times when I haven't been able to make it work. Oh, and just to remind you, so far there have been no bonfires, so I'm going to have to do everything again if I fail this one bit here. So the final 4 blades. Right, there we go. So 2 more. There we go. Right, so there's pressure panels there and there. I think so. One of them is for that. Maybe both of them are. I'll just jump past it. Okay. Now things are about to get a little more deathy. So you can see what a giant slave over there, and that is the person who has been loading the boulders for the thing down below. There is, however, another giant up at the top who is going to do something that's probably much more of a problem. That. They're going to throw fire pots at us. However, and I didn't notice this on the first playthrough, if we jump down here, we get a bonfire. Which is, of course, very helpful and very much appreciated. So, of course, reverse hollowing. I don't think we tend to get too many invaders in this area, so it's not too much of a problem. And, of course, mainly doing that so I can kindle and increase my maximum Estus Swigs to 10 from this bonfire. Although it doesn't matter too much because I won't be using this bonfire much, but it's just like a little extra help. So this will come out in the previous room. So now let's see how careful we have to be, because I can't hear the cues, you know, for when the bombs are being thrown because the volume's too low. Ah, there we go. And now I've got enough large Titanite shards to upgrade. Right. So there's an enemy around here. Will he get aggroed just yet? No. Okay, there we go. So it's a boulder knight, like one of the guys we saw before. but I think he's a bit more powerful than them, the ones we saw in the parish. They're quite nimble, these guys. There we go, and dead. Did he drop anything good? No, just the souls. Right. So, yes. So these are like they kind of look like torture devices or like a cage for just imprisoning people. I mean, and this is a place with loads of traps set up, but they act as lifts. However, I don't have the key, and the key is on that lizard mage guard I showed you, who was on the platform down below before. I've got to get past this bit fast because a firebomb will get dropped. No, he's not dropping it now. Oh no, he is. There you go. So through here is the boss, but of course I'm going to wait until I'm going not necessarily wait until, but I'm going to give the next bit a go. And by next bit I mean go up here, kill the giant who's throwing the firebombs, and then try and work my way back and get the shortcut. Now, giants aren't too bright, but they are, of course, very large and very powerful. So they sometimes do a thing where they get like frenzied and then become very, very tired. Let's see if he does it in a second. Ah. I've got to get out of the way. No way I'm going to survive another attack. I've got to do 2 swigs just in case. Yeah, looks like he's not going to do the frenzy. Ah. Oh, or is he? No, I've got to get out. Got to get out of the way. Oh. Looks like it. Oh, I've just got to be really careful here. Here's the frenzy thing, but thankfully it's out of my range. But of course, got to be clipping through the walls. There, see. So now it leaves him vulnerable, and you attack and kill him. So he is now dead. Oh, and Titanite Chunk. That's something that will do like upgrades for much. I think that might be like upgrading my weapon from 10 to 15. I think it might be. I'm not sure. Maybe 14. I can't remember. I never remember anything. Although there are other kinds of upgrades you can get. Of course, now the firebombs aren't there, I can go a little more leisurely. There are other upgrade paths for weapons. You can get divine weapons, you can get lightning weapons, you can get raw weapons. And so they're each have their own little sort of like strengths and weaknesses. So a raw weapon increases your damage output, but it doesn't scale with your stats, so it's probably more ideal for people who are doing like a low soul level run. By the way, I've got to be careful here because obviously the jumping isn't great, but to unlock the shortcut I need to jump across here. So hold your breath. Oh, right, there we go. So here is the crestfallen merchant.
What? Who?
I'll just skip through all of his text. I'm trying to remember if he has anything I want. He carries large titanite shards, which is quite neat of him. Tower shield, right. That tends to be a weapon that I use. A shield that I use for the latter parts of the game. I don't know, because the problem is it isn't for much later, but there's There's quite a late game boss who you need to parry his attacks with. However, you cannot parry when you're carrying a tower shield. Tower shields are great for when you're fighting large enemies, and there are more large enemies going to be coming in the game soon. I mean, as you saw, but probably saw before when I was fighting the giant, there were attacks that I wasn't able to block because I was just using this tiny little piddly shield I'm using now. That said, this shield is nothing really to sniff at. So, we're nearing the end of Sen's Fortress now. I mean, we've got to the end of all the traps. I just need to. I'm going to unlock the cage, and then I'm going to attempt the boss. At the very least, it's good that because I've got the key. Even if I fail this jump now, I'll be able to keep the key. Oh, no. Am I surviving? Am I surviving? Yes, I'm surviving. Okay, right. Of course, we killed the bull the night before. Oh, there's another one. You notice there, when I attacked him, it sort of like stun-locked him a bit. Or maybe I'm using the wrong term there, but it's definitely stunned him a bit, which made him open for another attack. Which is what's great about what is especially great about the great axe, which is that of course that it's good for, well, exactly that, for stunning enemies and preventing them from attacking and giving you more of an open for a second attack, especially when you've upgraded it this much. It's kind of, I wouldn't say overpowered, but yeah. I think it says a lot that my first playthrough of Dark Souls took me around. Also annoys me when I can't when people put messages in front of things. My first playthrough of Dark Souls took me about 80 hours. My second, and it's not complete, but I've got to the final boss area, has taken me around 55. So I think that's sort of a good sign. That I'm improving. I'm not great, but I'm improving, and improving it's the important thing. So I'm just going to quickly run back to the bonfire. I very nearly got hit there. The bonfire in the Undead Parish. Then I'm going to upgrade my axe, and then attempt the boss. Oh, and of course, because I've rested since then. Oh, I should have probably waited. But so yeah, Sen's Fortress. I love it a lot. It's kind of difficult to explain, especially when I'm not showing you all of the times I died the first time round, because it is just like, it is borderline slapstick comedy in terms of the cartooniness of the ways that it kills you, in my eyes anyway. But yeah, I love it a lot. So that weapon is now at its limit. Let's see, how many Titanite shards do I own? I own 2. Basically, I'm going to need to upgrade another weapon that's not this, like a less good weapon that I'm okay with only using for one thing, because there's a dungeon where I need specifically to have a divine weapon. Well, at least to save me time. Alright, I'll just explain that now while I'm on my way back. Basically, the catacombs, which is the dungeon beyond Firelink, beyond the graveyard in Firelink, which there are skeletons everywhere. And you see the button didn't reset because I didn't load the area again. I won't summon that player there. It's full of skeletons, and more importantly, there are about 5 different necromancers. Oh, no. And each of the necromancers can, as, as they are wont to do as necromancers, they resurrect the skeletons. Like obviously they naturally respawn every time you go to a bonfire, but they also just like constantly cast magic that brings the skeletons back to life. And the only way of preventing that is by using a divine weapon, which I don't know if they have any use beyond that. I'm sure they probably scale with like a different attribute. So instead of it being, like having a strength-based weapon or a dexterity-based weapon, it then becomes like a faith-based weapon or something. This is just me speculating. I from like half-remembered facts. Why am I running across here? I just need to get to the cage. So yeah. So I'm now on my way back up to fight the boss I saw before. This is again another boss which where it helps to have a second player distracting the boss. So I'll work my way up and then I'll summon another NPC who, if you talk to the Crestfallen Merchant enough, he will refer to this character. His name is Black Iron Tarkus. And yeah, he's from what I remember, he's got kind of low health, but obviously, even just being there in this fight will help. After this boss, I'm probably gonna give this video series a bit of a break, just because I find the area beyond here to be beyond intimidating. I kind of need to work myself up to it. Like, it's a beautiful area, but it requires a lot from you. So I always like to break after here, whenever I get here. So yeah, we are now at the top of Sen's Fortress, about to fight this boss here. Should I summon a player? No, they've already gone. Doesn't matter. So it's just me and Black Iron Tarkus facing the Iron Golem. And better watch out here. Now this boss has like a grab attack with their right hand, so I've got to watch out for that. But of course, it's oh, yeah, and of course, this is a boss where you've got to be careful of not falling off the edge, and I'd forgotten that somehow. But yeah, so if Tarkus gets picked up by the boss, well, if you get picked up, it's a big problem. But if Tarkus gets picked up, it obviously leaves the Iron Golem open to attack, which is a good thing, as you can quite easily understand from me just saying that sentence. So yeah, I might skip this bit, but then again, it's not too far, is it? It's only a minute or two. This time I'll probably just run past every enemy. Yeah, I think this cage is slightly further away, which means that I can't just run past this enemy. I actually need to kill him or push him off. But yeah, I'm never go down there. I've had too many bad experiences. Generally involving losing souls. Especially not fun when you going on a playthrough like directly from Quelaag and you haven't banked your souls yet, and then you just drop them down there, and then you're trying to get back down there to pick up the souls, and then you're also dodging attacks from the from the Titanite demon, and yeah, so basically from this point on I won't really kill any of the Titanite demons. I don't tend to use demon Titanite because I think it's for like boss weapons and things like that, but no. Yeah, because the problem is obviously with every person I summon, it when someone just died then from falling off a ledge, and I didn't even have to face them. The problem is that oh, and I've also probably got to not go too far ahead in case Tarkus falls off. The whole issue with if you summon three, like a third person to join in, it can be a bit of an issue with you know, with the boss then taking too much, having too much HP, and the effect of having an extra person to sort of divert attention isn't really that much help anymore, comparatively anyway. Ah, there we go. There's the grab attack, and I'm gonna die. Probably no, not quite, but you essentially I get. Seems like I get one free. Oh, and of course I got to do 2 Estus, and Tarkus is being picked up. Have I yet to actually hit the damn thing? Because obviously the larger they are, the more difficult it is, well, especially when you're hitting legs rather than like a large abdomen or whatever, like with Quailarg. Have I been picked up? No, it was more of a slam attack. Oh! So maybe I should have got that Firekeeper soul before the Firekeeper got killed. Oh, it seems like the boss is invincible at that point, so actually Tarkus getting picked up isn't really a help for me. It just means that he got picked up instead of me, rather than actively sort of distracting. But yeah, a parallel, and not many people will probably know this too well, that I draw between Sen's Fortress and another game is Ys 1 and 2. More specifically to Darm Tower, which ends the first game. And of course, what's about to happen here? So yes, here we are in Anor Londo, the lost city of the gods, and yeah, I think I'm probably going to leave it here. I love the design, I love this location, but I think it's probably going to take me 2 or 3 videos maybe to get through. It's intimidating, and I love it, but basically, well, actually, no. What I'm going to do is, because I've got a bit more time, I'm going to power ahead to get to the bonfire, and that's where I'm going to leave it. So in this area, we've got these sort of like these golems, which are obviously a lot smaller than the iron golem, but they're still a bit of a problem. They're actually not the biggest in the area. Oh, and see why they're a problem? Because they like wear away my stamina very quickly. So I'm going to try and get away from this guy here. There's 2 more there. There's 2 more on the other side as well. However, if I get into this room here... God, this is a gorgeous place, isn't it? Especially if you like cathedrals in Europe with their flying balustrades and all that. So, we go here. And there's a firekeeper here! Yay!
Well, welcome to the lost city of Londo, chosen undead. If you seek Lord Gwyn's old keep, exit here and head straight yonder. If you are the chosen one, a revelation shall visit thee. What follows thereafter depends upon you.
Indeed, the boss of this area is the hardest in the game. It's... But this is the thing, is I keep saying, this is the hardest in the game, this is the hardest in the game, this is the hardest game. And essentially, well, obviously, as you saw, I only had... The only death I had to the Iron Golem was the Pitfall one. It would probably be ideal if I popped a humanity now and kindled that bonfire, just in case. But I'm also going to take pop all of these souls and spend all of my acquired souls right now, so I don't have them and risk losing them next time I play. But what shall I spend it on? I wonder. So yeah, one thing I like more about Bloodborne is the ability to just like consume multiple blood vials at one amount of time, rather than just having like doing here with the I've got loads of souls now. That should do me for at least 5, I think. Let's see how many. 8 levels I can do. Let's see, where's the point? Because obviously there's there's a bit of a diminishing returns with leveling up. See, even though I'm using a strength weapon, it behooves me to upgrade dexterity. So that, of course. Let's see if we can see the difference between the charge times of the pyromancy spells. So this is what it looks like at the moment, and this is what it looks like when I've leveled it up. 8 levels. Well, I couldn't really tell the difference, but but I'm sure that you can. That probably you might be able to. Anyway, oh, this is already kindled to 10. That was a bit of a waste of time. But yeah, Londo. We are here now. We are here in East. We are in the place where like sort of like the direction changes of everything, and I enjoy playing Dark Souls so much. Maybe not so much the first time I played, but the further I got, the more I enjoyed it. This is a lift, by the way. It doesn't. I assume it doesn't activate till you jump on it the first time. Let's admire some of the view before I say goodbye. And see you in part 6, which may be weeks, maybe months from now. But I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And because I just like being able to share my love of this game with other people. And please play it if you think it's a thing you can play. And yeah, and well, goodbye.